Thank you for watching Ebony Ladies in the DR. I'm your host, Bridget. And guys, I know y'all know who this is because everybody has been like, where are the Ebony Ladies in the DR? So I feel like I'm having the Ebony Ladies in the DR reunion tour. Everybody welcome Tammy. Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
So y'all, we are going to catch up with Tammy today. She's going to share a little bit. But I'm going to tell y'all, when we first started Ebony Ladies in the DR 4 years ago, Tammy, her 5-year anniversary is in August. My 5-year anniversary is in January. So after that first episode, I don't know if Tammy saw the comments. So everybody was like, oh, the girl with the big smile and the long hair, she's not gonna make it because she was talking about that heat and she seemed so prissy and she was a Southern belle. Girl, they had all kinds of comments. They was like, Tammy not gonna be here. Almost going on 5 years, who's still here? All right, that's what I'm talking about. Deuces, Tammy's still here. So did you adjust to the heat?
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, it's still hot.
It's still hot.
It's still hot. Yeah.
But yeah, it is. But y'all can see the difference. Tammy is a true Southern belle. Tammy shows up like this, beautiful heels on. I got on tennis shoes. I don't even think I earned this little dress at the run. It is just, you know what I'm saying? That's the difference in people. But the thing that we have in common is our wanting a different life.
Yeah.
And that's what we did.
Yeah,
you know
absolutely,
what I mean? Even though we're different in so many ways, our commonality was wanting a different life, coming to an island, and trying something else.
Yeah.
So what would you say has been the biggest adjustment for you over the years between the U.S. and the DR?
I just think culturally, like just the way that people do things, the way that people do business, it's different. It's different. And so you've got to have a lot of patience. You've got to have a lot of flexibility.
Yeah.
You cannot come in with the mindset of, oh, this is the way things need to be done, because you're going to be heartbroken.
And the one thing you should never ever say is, that's not how they do it in America.
Right.
They do not want to hear that.
Right.
That's it.
Yep.
So you say things are done differently. So
yeah.
Is it a bad thing or a good thing?
Sometimes it's a bad thing. Sometimes it's a good thing. Right. Good examples would be something where sometimes you realize in the U.S. they make you jump through so many hoops for certain things,
right.
Whereas here it's just like, oh, you want to do that? Okay,
it's cut and dry.
Yeah,
just do it.
Just do it. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
I think as far as starting businesses and things like that, it's like if there's something you want to do, you could just come here and do it. Whereas in the U.S. you got to get 1 million licenses and this and that and this and that. Which I think in some ways can hold people back.
Right.
From,
and
discourage them from trying new things. Whereas here it's just kind of open and free. Okay. At the same time, sometimes yes is never yes and no is never no. For example, sometimes there's always like this gotcha, if you will. For example, my husband was in a terrible car accident. So our car was, I guess, pretty much totaled. And so we had to go through the process of trying to get the car fixed, right? So they had to come tow the car. First, they told my husband, you have to go to Santo Domingo to sign the paper for the car to release it. And I'm like, well, that doesn't make any sense to me to go 2.5 hours just to...
Did they tow the car to Santo Domingo?
Yeah, they had to tow it to Santo Domingo. Why they couldn't fix it here in Punta Cana when we bought it in Punta Cana?
Right.
Don't know. No. But that's what had to happen. And the tow truck driver, on the day he came, he said, oh, you don't have to go. Just sign the paper here. And so 3 weeks, we're like waiting. And so finally my husband calls and he says, hey, we just want to get an update. Have you got an estimate on the car yet? And they're like, oh no, we haven't even started work because the person never came to sign up for it. And we're like,
oh my God. And that's how it goes.
That's how it goes here. One person says one thing. And you're like,
and it's like, who do I trust? So I've learned, if I don't get the same answer from everybody, I'm going with the most drastic case. So I'm like the extreme. So had they said, you got to go to San Domingo, all right, let's go tomorrow. I'm getting in the car or I'm hopping on the bus. I'm going to Santo Domingo and sign it. That's what I've learned. Because whenever it's like something seems too good to be true or too simple or too easy, it's usually gonna backfire.
If it's too easy here,
if it's too easy, sometimes it's gonna backfire.
Yeah.
So just kind of go with whatever the extreme was.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's just disappointing sometimes when you can't trust what people say.
Right.
That's the hard part, I think.
And a lot of times they truly don't know, but don't want to tell you they don't know.
Right.
They're very prideful. Mm-hmm. Almost 5 years later, do you feel like an expat, or do you feel like I'm part of the community?
You know, so 4 months ago, I moved to Verón, which is a little bit further away from the beach. So about 20 minutes away from the beach, whereas I used to be in walking distance from the beach, right?
Right.
So because I moved to a area where there's more Dominicans, more families, that type of things, I'm not around Americans anymore. So now I had to kind of go through the experience again of feeling like an expat because, you know, in El Cuartecito, you can go to any restaurant, and if your Spanish is a little bit broken, it's fine because they can fill in the gaps because they know a little English. Right. But here it was like, okay, you don't know Spanish.
You better learn it.
You better learn.
Because I don't know what you're talking about.
Right. You know, and so I live in a beautiful neighborhood now. I love it. So many families, and we love that. But little kids come up all the time and run up and start talking. And I'm like, I don't know what you're saying. You're so cute, but I don't know what you're saying. So
it handicapped us. Areas that we're in. Being in Punta Cana, period. It handicapped us. It really did.
Absolutely.
All right. So Tammy, a question that I always get, people keep asking me, like, what did this do for me as a person? Like, moving from the United States to the Dominican Republic to another country, what was the positive thing that it contributed to me as a person? You understand?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
100%.
So what would you say?
For me, I grew so much as a person, like so much, having to completely start your life over. And when I say start over, like I started a whole new career. I know you started new businesses, right? And so you are in a phase where you're learning about a different culture. You're learning about different ways of being, really. You're learning how to create new income streams. So for me, I had to almost have like a childlike attitude of like, okay, I'm just here to learn. I'm going to learn. I'm going to try. I'm going to learn. I'm going to try. I'm going to test. And so it grew me as a person because, like, it's surprising when you say, like, people are like, oh, she ain't gonna make it, because I'm like, y'all don't know
like,
me.
Tammy ain't gonna make it. That's like, she's so pretty, she hot, she complaining. I was like, she missed her car. I think that was Sheila. I think that might have been you and Sheila both missed your car.
I did miss my car.
It was like, they were like, she ain't gonna make it.
Yeah, but leaders adapt, you know? And I had to learn how to adapt. And so I would say this has probably been the biggest growth I've ever had in my life, you know, in my entire life, moving to a completely different culture. So yeah, don't count it out, because you will grow as a person.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, almost 5 years later, I know we asked this right at the beginning. What do you miss about the U.S.? Anything still?
Family and friends.
Okay.
At this point, family and friends. There's still like restaurants, you know. They're like, oh, I wish there was a Chick-fil-A here. Things like that.
We got Popeyes.
We got Popeyes now. I haven't been there yet, but yeah, it's you know, we're growing. And I think, you know, sometimes I think just life stuff, like even just dealing with banking, you know, I always have to go through a million firewalls. I have to call the bank. Yes, this is me. Oh, we see somebody trying to log in from abroad. Yes, it's me. Please let me in my account. Those kind of things where sometimes I think if I were in the US, I wouldn't have to deal with this. This would be 5 minutes and I'm done, right? So sometimes those are the kind of things. I just wish it were just a little bit easier to live abroad when it comes to some things like that. There's some companies you can't even call from here. Some banks,
because they don't have an 800 number.
Yeah, and it'll block you because they say that you're calling from abroad. So those types of things are the things that I miss, just the ease of that.
Okay. What do you love most about Punta Cana?
I mean, the beaches.
I know. It don't never get old when you see the ocean.
Right.
It never gets old when I see the ocean. I feel like I'm on vacation every time I go to the beach.
Yep.
I really do.
Yep. You're like, this is why I'm here.
This is why I'm here.
So yeah, still definitely the beaches, the weather, even though sometimes I do miss cold weather now. I do like I went home this Thanksgiving, and it was so great to just be able to put on a sweater. And,
I was teasing you.
Yeah, but overall though, I still love the beautiful weather. I love the ease of just, like, I was watching something on TikTok and they were talking about, do you guys remember when it was $25 to get your nails done? And I'm like, what do you mean? Do I remember? I just got a mani pedi and my hair done for $30.
Oh,
there's no remember. I
already know y'all can have a million questions, a million comments. Can Tammy tell where she got her hair done? Can Tammy tell where she go get her mani pedi? All of that will be in the comments. I'll just do it because y'all know no hair. Y'all know I just go get my toes done and that's it. So don't even. I already know it's gonna be a whole 20 questions about that.
I will say, if I can add this, okay? And so that's one of the other things of moving from Punta Cana proper to moving a little bit into where more Dominicans live. Those prices start to drop.
Go down. Because look, in Punta Cana Village.
Yeah, it's not going to be that price.
Downtown San Juan Plaza, getting her hair done would probably be close to $100. Yeah. Getting her manicure, pedicure would be probably $55, $60. And that's just where you are in Bávaro, in Punta Cana. The prices are gonna move, they're gonna fluctuate quite a bit. And so that's what I learned early on. I was like, if this is supposed to be a developing country, not a third world country, but a developing country, these Dominicans aren't paying those prices. I need to shop where the Dominicans shop. And that's how I found Olay, which is right here behind us, versus Jumbo, which is the tourist trap. So it's like you get here and you make yourself part of the community so that you can afford to live here. Because in the 5 years, how have the prices gone up?
Oh yeah,
like
crazy. Since
real estate, clothes, food, everything.
Everything is more expensive.
Taking your time and actually going out and looking for the best prices and things like that. It can be not affordable to live here.
Absolutely. Even like a lot of the last time we moved, we noticed that now people are wanting 2 deposits and first month rent. I'm like, when did they start doing that?
That's expensive. That's a lot.
That's crazy. Right.
And do you feel like they did that because you're American? Or do you feel like that's across the board?
I don't know, but that's what they were saying. That's what we do now. And I mean, I was looking in the more American areas, so probably. Okay. But yeah, when I came over to where more Dominicans live, no, it wasn't like that. Yeah. It just feels like they're trying to find more ways to get more money.
To try to get all they can. That's why I tell people, it ain't so much a scam. It is what you allow them to get away with.
That's true.
Because if you don't do it, if you don't feed into that, and I tell y'all that all the time, if you don't feed into that kind of stuff and don't give in, it can't keep happening.
Right.
So that's the case. But let me see, what else? People ask me all kind of funny stuff. All right, so are you here? Or do you think, because I know your husband went to the U.S. for that was his first time ever going to the
his
U.S.?
First time ever.
Yeah, and let me tell you, there was a post. Her family are the most incredible people. They did a Coming to America cake. And I was like, why didn't I get invited to that party? Y'all know I would have been. But me and Dominican would have shot to Carolina. And so, but that was amazing.
What party for us?
What do you think your future looks like? Is it here? Is it in the U.S.? Do you think y'all were here to stay or what?
If you had asked me this last year, I would have said we are 100% here. We're going to stay here. We're going to live here. But now,
difference a year makes.
I think we've definitely towards the end of the year, we sat down and really talked about what do we want and what's available, because before he didn't have a visa. Right. Now he has a visa.
Right.
And so before it was like, oh, absolutely want to stay here. But once you get the visa, you're like, wait, I have so many more possibilities I can choose from.
And always come back.
Yeah. Like we could always go to the U.S. for a couple years, spend time with my family, and then come back. So right now we are not sure.
Okay.
We're not sure.
And that's the thing that I tell people. You can come here, try it out, and find your footing. And see what works, especially when you're as young as like Tammy and them are. They're much younger than me and Davlin. So they have that option to go back to the U.S., stack a lot of money, then come back. They already own land, build a house, and do all those things and live comfortably. So those are the things that I always want to express to people, that it's not like you move here and it don't work and you have to stay and suffer. Or, You know what I'm saying? That's what people think. You can come here, get the best of it, relax, take some time out, figure life out, then move around, and then circle back. But I think people get in their head like, oh, what if it don't work? But aren't you glad you tried it?
Yeah.
You know?
And you have the right to change your mind. I don't know why people think that. You know, it's like even if somebody starts a business and then 11 months into it, they're like, I just don't want to do this no more. Like,
that's what we with the bridal shop. We were like, what the hell? These people got us up in here all day and night, waiting on them to get here. Because Dominicans on their own time, ain't nothing changed. They do not respect your schedule. So you will find yourself working day and night. And that's not why I moved here to work day and night. It was a good business, very profitable. You know, we're still doing it mobile. But it's like, if you think you're going to come here and have a part-time business and want to make money, it's not going to be part-time. Period. It's not going to be part-time.
And that's the beauty of being able to try different things, you know, and so you cannot be so caught up in, I'm very big on piloting things, right? Even when I was in corporate America and I would work with companies, I said, let's pilot a program. You know, try it for 90 days. If it works for you,
feedback.
Okay, great. If you realize I am miserable,
okay, I ain't gonna keep going.
Do something else.
Y'all know me. People like, oh, you're trying. I do a little bit of everything. I do what works for me, what makes me happy. Now, I gotta ask this question because a lot of Black Americans, women, their main thing is coming here. They're ready to get married. They looking for a good man. It didn't work out in the U.S. You know, that type of thing. So what would be your advice to Black American women coming to the DR and dating?
You know, well, first of all, there's no magical place where there's magical men. First of all.
Say it like 100 more times.
Men are men everywhere you go. You know, so in the same way, you know, when you are dating in the U.S., you know and understand what your values are. I have had a lot of people who started dating people here and then they contact me and like, hey, what do you think? You know, and I'm like, I don't know. Honestly, you have to play it out because the number one concern that people have is, how do I know that he's not using me for money or something like that?
Right. Yeah.
So the first thing is, it's wrong to automatically assume that somebody is using you for money. So I don't think that anybody should just walk around with assumptions of other people, right?
I agree.
In the same way when people say, oh, you know, typical Black woman, I'm like, what does that even mean? Because we're all so different by that, right?
Yeah.
So we don't want to automatically put that assumption on people. However, be smart, right? Somebody can only pretend to be something for so long. Their true colors are going to come out. So you just need to give it time. See them in all seasons. Definitely come over and spend time, like spend a significant amount of time, I would say, at least a month or two to be around him in his living environment. Because when you come on vacation, you get all the time and attention.
Yeah.
Right? Because they're going to take off from work. All this stuff.
All of that.
And so that was a big shift for me. When I would come over here, it was like we would have the best time in the world. And then when I moved over here, it was like, oh, you're at work all the time. So I'm in this house alone by myself all the time. So that was something that we had to kind of overcome. And we were able to work through that.
Really good point.
Yeah. So you want to be able to see him in his real environment before you make a huge commitment to come over. And then the last thing I would say is take 100% responsibility for your actions. So go into it knowing, if this doesn't work out, if I move over here and it doesn't work out, that's fine. I had an adventure for myself.
Right.
And I'm not blaming anybody. I'm not, you know, I'm going to have this adventure for myself, whether it works out or not. And I think that's a more positive way to look at it. Because then if it doesn't work out, you won't feel like, oh my God, I threw my life away.
Right. And that don't make all men dogs.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, because then people leave here after a bad experience. And then all men are dogs. And all Dominicans are bad. All Dominicans are bad. And they just take your money. And, you know, it's just a whole thing.
Yep.
That's good.
Yep.
Really, really good advice. Because people are always asking me, you know, and people want to see a successful and want to hear about a successful marriage between an American or a woman and a Dominican or Haitian man. They always want to know, well, how's it going? Does he work, or is she paying off the bills? You know, those are the things that people always want to know, always ask, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that is such a, they've been put in such a box and stereotyped in such a way that the women think that they're just going to come here and have to pay for everything and pay the bills and all that.
Good, you can always start a business with your person.
Yeah.
You know, we did.
Yep.
We did. So if you're concerned with, well, jobs here don't pay enough, because they don't.
Right.
The jobs here don't. So maybe that's something you can look into. If that's, you know, someone who's watching and you have someone here, and look into the two of you starting something together so that you can create income together. Then it doesn't feel so much like, oh, well, I'm covering most of whatever.
Yeah, right. With the US dollars.
Yeah.
You know, that type of thing.
Yeah.
But good. So y'all, we had to catch up. Y'all see, me and Tammy is still in contact, but everybody's busy. Everybody does their own thing and kind of, you know, run around, and it's different lives, you know, just got different lifestyles, but still here, still happy, still enjoying this new life of ours in another country. And I was in the US for like 2 months, and I was like, I can't wait to get home. You know what I mean? And this is truly home. It's like, it's finally like at a point where I feel like this is truly my home. Like, I have no intention of going anywhere else.
Yeah.
That's how, you know, I'm like truly happy here. And I, you know, people know because they watch it every week. But any last thoughts, anything you want to share?
Man, you know, this has truly been an amazing experience. I can't believe it's been almost 5 years.
I know, time flew by.
Time flew by. Next month will be 3 years that I've been married.
Oh my
so
God.
The time is gonna fly either way. So if you decide that you want to move abroad, 4 years is gonna be here either way. It's just, what is the adventure you're gonna have during that 4-year period? And it's not always easy. You know, it's not always easy.
But worth it.
But it's worth it. One day you're gonna look back and be like, man, look what I did.
It's look what I made it through and accomplished, and that, you know, that kind of thing. Thank you. Y'all want to thank Tammy for being here. You know, wish you all the best. You know, whatever, you know, you guys decide, and just everything that y'all are doing here, we have to keep in touch. Guys, don't forget, every Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the Ebony Ladies in the DR. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and share button. Put your comments down there. I already know I got to find out the name of the hair salon, the manicure, pedicure, because y'all are going to ask me. I'm going to have that information for y'all. But until next time, thank you, Tammy, for your time. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, absolutely, because everybody's looking for the reunion. So if Shanna drops back in the Dominican Republic, shout out to Shanna.
That'd be cool.
I'm going to try to catch her next time, and we'll have her on the show. Sheila's back in the U.S. If she shows her face back in the Dominican Republic, we will get her back on the show.
We should do a Zoom reunion.
Okay, so we can do a Zoom reunion. We're going to try to do a Zoom reunion. We're going to make it happen.
And it's going to be us all catching up with each other, because we haven't.
We really haven't. Everybody just kind of scattered, and you know, life happens. No bad blood anywhere. Just life happens, and we all got busy living and adjusting, basically, you know, that type of thing. But until next time, everybody, enjoy yourself. We're going to enjoy this beautiful weather here in the Dominican Republic. See you next Thursday.